Yo, what up? Ogechi here, aka Oaghaji, back in the building with another video. Now, before I begin, just want to let y'all know, as usual, that if y'all hear any talking and background noises and whatnot, that's my family, alright? Since we're celebrating Memorial Day weekend, you feel me? So, yeah. Even though it's a little quiet right now, so just want to give y'all a heads up, just in case, you feel me? Today it's time for another review. I almost lost my train of thought there. Now, today's review is going to be on the 1991 Hong Kong Kung Fu film classic from the Golden Harvest Studios, and that is Wong Fei, aka Once Upon a Time in China. And I'm going to use the Once Upon a Time in China, the complete film's Blu-ray collection for this particular review, courtesy of the Criterion Collection. Yeah, the Criterion Collection, they're doing a good job in releasing these old school martial arts films from Hong Kong and Taiwan, you feel me, which is nice. It'd be nice if they did a release of the first two Shaolin Temple films starring Jet Li, but that's wishful thinking. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. The story revolves around the real-life Cantonese Kung Fu master, practitioner of the Hong-Ga-Kun, style of Southern Chinese Kung Fu, a leader of the Black Flag Militia, a doctor, and real-life folk hero Wong Fei, who is also known for being the son of Wong Fei, one of the 10 Tigers of Canton, who, like his son after him, was both a Kung Fu master, a doctor, and a hero, as well as a street performer, which Wong Fei participated in. What else? Oh yes, Wong Fei before I forget. Wong Fei along with his band of disciples like Lin Feng, Lam Sai-ling, and many others, as well as with the help of Ant on 13, deals with nefarious foreign forces and local forces that threaten Chinese sovereignty, as both the British imperialists and American imperialists encroach on the mainland. Throughout the way, they face many foes from both sides, as well as Armor Yuen, a very skilled Kung Fu fighter from northern China. Will Wong Fei succeed in this mission, or will be downhill and failure from there? That's a pretty good question that some of you might already know the answer to, but anyway, the story in this is very good in my opinion. It's a very new, revamped take on the real-life Wong Fei, as I said before, who is a well-known Kung Fu master and doctor and leader of the Black Flag Militia in the Guangdong province of, specifically Sun, which is also the home of Wing Chun master Lin Chun and Ip Man and a couple of others. I can't at the top of my head right now. I apologize for the brain fart, anyways, like I said, this is a new take of Wong Fei. Before, you had the black and white Wong Fei film starring Guan Da King or Guan Ta King for some of us English speakers here, as well as Gordon Liu, Gam-Fai, in Challenge of the Masters and Martial Club, both in 76 and 81/82 respectively. There's Jacky Chan's Drunken Master back in 1978. And there was the Master of Kung Fu back in 1973, starring Ku Feng, or Gok Feng, for Shaw Brothers. So, with having Jet Li doing this new rendition of Wong Fei is very a welcoming surprise, and it's a good thing to bring, Wong Fei to life in the new era of the 90s, this new wave of Hong Kong martial arts films back in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Especially since it would be most Westerners' exposure of Wong Fei outside of Jackie Chan with the film Drunken Master 1 back in 78 and Drunken Master 2 back in 92 or 93 or 94. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think it's 94. Anyway, Jet Li does a great job in this with this new spin on the real life Wong Fei Hong. And I also like Rosmand Kwan as a character of On 13, who, you know what I'm saying, which is also pretty awesome. Iron Robe Yuen is a pretty cool, you know, rival to Wong Fei Hong. You know, being a practitioner of Northern Chinese Kung Fu, and Wong Fei Hong, you know, being a master of Southern Chinese Kung Fu is pretty cool. Buck Teeth So was played very well by Jacky Cheng. Let me see, Cheng was pretty cool as Lam Sai Wing, but I prefer Sammo Hong's Lam Sai Wing, to be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? As well as the Lam Sai Wing we got from Lao Zhan, who is the father of Aghaji, both for which are practitioners of Hong-Ga, Hong-Kun, Kung Fu. Who else? Oh, Yuen did a fantastic job as playing Lun Feng, you know what I'm saying? It's a shame he didn't do it in the other films after this. You know, Max Mock will take on the role, you know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. Because I think Yuen thought it was going to be the same as the old Wong Fei Hong film starring, you know, Quan Tai King, you know what I'm saying? But hey, you know, Troy Hark wanted to do something different, and hey. And which we'll get more into once we get into the action territory, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, the story is pretty good. The characters are very well written and developed pretty well, in my opinion. So, and the acting is pretty good. So, the story, characters, and acting all get a 5 out of 5. The action is just awesome. You know, it's some awesome, grounded kung fu with a little bit of wire work. A little bit of wire fu, but not too much, you know what I'm saying, which is nice. You know, originally, Gao was supposed to be the fight choreographer for Once Upon a Time in China, but Troy Hark wanted to do something different. He didn't want to do the usual Hong-Ga, Hong-Kun, stuff like that we see in the previous films. Instead, he wanted to do something different, especially for the fact that Jet Li's background in martial arts, specifically Wushu. Jet Li studies Northern China, the Wushu versions of Northern Chinese Kung Fu, you know what I'm saying? So, and because of this, and not to mention the whole wire fu thing, you know, Lao Gawing most likely hopped out, and Troy Hark got Yuen, you know, as one of the fight choreographers for the film. And Yuen did a fantastic job with the fight choreography, you know what I'm saying? The fights were very well shot, very well edited, and very well lit, you know what I'm saying? And I like the rendition of, this new rendition of the famous Moyunga, the shadowless kick, or the kick without shadow, by making it like multiple kicks. And I think that, and it's one of the main inspirations for Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat, specifically in Mortal Kombat 2, where he would have the bicycle kick. Yes, the bicycle kick move that Liu Kang will have in Mortal Kombat 2 and onward will be inspired by this new rendition of the Moyunga, the shadowless kick. The fight scenes did a fantastic job in displaying Jet Li's physicality as a martial artist, which is pretty cool. Now, he had to be double in certain parts because, you know, he injured himself during the stunt. So they had Hong Yan is doing some of this, being Jet Li's double in certain stunts, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, the film as a whole was shot very well. I think it's mostly shot, it's shot in Hong Kong, mainland China, specifically Beijing, the Golden Harvest Studios, you know what I'm saying, and which is cool, you know what I'm saying. Very well shot, very well edited, and very well lit in these locations, which I think is cool. What else? Oh, the music is pretty awesome. We get a new rendition of the Under the General's Order, you know what I'm saying, which is a Chinese folk song, you know what I'm saying, specifically in southern China, I believe, in Canton, and it became the theme for Wong Fei Hong when the thing was played in the black and white Wong Fei Hong film starring the late great Wong King. And then it became a main theme for Wong Fei Hong ever since. And with James Wong, he decided to put a unique spin on it by, not only having someone singing it, but having the lyrics be unique to the series of this film, which is cool. And then this rendition will become popular later on. It'll be called The Man of Determination. It'll be sung by the awesome Rosmand, who did fantastic with his singing. You know what I'm saying? so the music was composed very well. Shout out to James Wong. Rest in peace to him. I heard he died during the production of Seven Swords. He'll definitely be missed. Pull out a little liquor for the OG. You feel me? With all that said, the action, cinematography, editing, lighting, and music all get a 5 out of 5 on this. Overall, Wong Fei Hong 1, aka Once Upon a Time in China 1, is a dope Hong Kong kung fu film classic from 1991 that I highly recommend y'all checking out, especially if you're a fan of Jet Li and want to get into his earlier work. You know what I'm saying? So, this film gets a 5 out of 5. Hopefully y'all enjoy this review, despite the length being a little long as usual. You know what I'm saying? And with a couple of brain farts here and there. Let me know what y'all think about Wong Fei Hong 1, aka Once Upon a Time in China 1, in the comments below. You feel me? If y'all watched it already. If y'all like this video, y'all can hit that like button and share it. If y'all enjoy this type of content, y'all can subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to keep you notified of the uploads. Y'all can also follow me on my other social media accounts, and stay tuned for more other reviews and more other videos along the way. So with all that said, hope y'all enjoy this Memorial Day weekend if y'all actually celebrate it. And this is your boy, Ogechi Aghaji, aka Oaghaji, aka the Perfect Sensei, signing out. Peace.